Good evening, VPG. These two cheeky little beggars jumped straight into the game.
No holds barred.
No intro. Clearly, they don't want to hear us chatting. I mean, I was trying to find the perfect stream for you. Mav's helped us out because he's taken his camera off. But we do have some of his stuff going over the top, so I apologize if there's some stuff. Prolific don't have a stream, so whilst I was chasing them, they went straight into the game. Why wouldn't they? It's Trey Robertson, by the way. Good save by Wakabashai. Welcome, by the way. We are Pro Clubs Weekly. On behalf of VPG, this is the VPG UK Premier. And it is the guys who are large and in charge of this league. It is Prolific. They are in the dark blue, and I tell you what, SJ Clay is in. They're in the light blue because that's SJ Clay playing up front for Prolific. So Man City kit is Prolific. Engine on the dark PSG kit. And yeah, it really is Prolific's to lose here. No slight on Engine. They're a very good side, but Prolific are 10-4-10, Domino.
Mate, 10-4-10 with 2 goals conceded. I don't even know what those stats are. They look made up, if I'm honest with you. That is ridiculous to be where they are. I mean, you think how many goals fly at 8 balls. So you can see 2 goals. It shows how strong Prolific are. And not only in this, but in Europe as well. They're doing very, very well.
Yeah, totally agree. So Engine will know the size of the task tonight. And we are here to see if it's the usual Prolific win or if Engine can kickstart this week number 4 with a slight upset, Domino. I think just like Crimmy, the gaffer for Prolific, was in the chat on Thursday. I think a few of them will just have their eye on this, just hoping for an Engine win.
Well, what happens, 8-Ball, and you feel it as well, when these league tables start forming and you look how good Prolific are in form, it becomes every game Prolific are going to play, the other team are going to take it like a cup final. They're like, 100%. They don't concede goals, they don't lose. You're just going to be more up for this game than you would be any other normal game of the night. So always expect now Prolific to be against the best version of the other opposition.
Yeah, that's it. And, you know, if they want to go on to lift this trophy, then I think that's kind of what they expected anyway. That's what they've had in previous seasons. And they've shown that they can do it as well. So for these guys, I think what works in their favor is they've got the players who have been there, done that before. What doesn't necessarily work in their favor is, like you said, every game is a cup final for them against taking on this Prolific side. So there is the gaffer getting caught in possession, but he does manage to win it back. 20 minutes gone, not too much to shout about at the moment. Quite a frantic start until both teams kind of played themselves in and settled themselves down. And at the moment, I'd say Prolific probably got a bit more of possession, a bit more of the ball, look a bit more assured in that possession, but Engine sat in nicely and not looked under particular threat, I must admit.
Yeah, and that's good. I think if I was, again, the manager there of Engine, who we know quite well, 8-Ball, is you'd play this game in stages, and one of those stages were, for the first, in my opinion, the first 10 to 15 virtual minutes, do not concede a goal, do not get caught cold. Make them work at it, make them play. And I think that's what they've done here. And then you can always creep back into the game, get the goal at key moments, 8-Ball, but you want to keep this Prolific side as quiet as possible for as long as possible, but it's harder said than done here, 8-Ball.
Exactly. Here's the gaffer, Crimmy, breaking into the box. Nova does well and wins his side a throw-in deep in their own half. Pinned back in a little bit are Engine, and as long as they're in the game, I don't think Mav and his Engine boys will mind too much. Clearance is complete, and they're not going to get any change out of it. Falls to Guto, to Anze. Switch wasn't necessarily on, but Crimmy, the gaffer, comes back, wins it. Hadji, team of the week, Hadji. I won't say his full name, don't want to DDoS him again. Again, yeah, sorry. Very good camp. Here he is, dropping deep, loses man, over the top it goes. Chappelle does well, 1-2 with his centre-half, and that is Hibbert at the back. Player we know very well, and a very, very good centre-half. SB down the line with the outside of the foot. Has he stayed onside? No, he has not. We'll come back for a Prolific free kick. And I tell you what, Crunch has got a bit of space here. Gives it to his strike partner, Robertson. And Engine, you can see, not forcing anything at the moment, but they will pay for that lack of directness there with Koku and Hadji, two dangerous players. Out wide it goes to SJ Clay, looks to beat his man. Dino does well, pings it on, and I was going to say they're not getting much change. I was going to say they're not getting much change until that point, but it's not very rare you get much change out of his back three, which would explain, Domino, the 2 goals conceded in 10 games, huh?
Yeah, well, exactly that, Abel. It's not how fantastic... I mean, to be fair, they've scored, I think it was 29 goals or something ridiculous like Abel in the 10 games. So it's not like they're only one-way traffic and beating teams 1-0. They are operating on both ends of the pitch very, very well. But Little Engine have stole the ball there. It just didn't have enough legs on it to get
Edges for Mav, finds the back post with Trey Robertson, stayed on side as well. What a ball it was and what a run it was. And Chris Boras in the prolific goal did very, very well in the end there. And tell you what, for all of Prolific's possession, I think Engine have had the 2 best chances of the half.
Yeah, both coming down this left-hand side, April.
Yep. Clubs in a nutshell, that is. But I think they can be slightly aggrieved not to go in a goal up there, because the ball over the top, the run to stay on side, almost begged a goal, really.
Yeah. What? Hey, well, that's flown by. Absolutely flown by.
Really. I mean, we didn't have our usual introduction, Domino. That's why, really. That's why we didn't have time to talk rubbish. So what we'll do for 45 seconds is talk rubbish.
And we're back.
Just how we like it. Right. I mean, Prolific, is it going to be a case now of we just expect massive things from them? So if they're not playing, at that 4th, 5th gear, we're starting to ask questions why, perhaps? Or is it a case of they're good enough, it will come, leave them to it type thing,
I think it's like that, Abel. Prolific will know what high expectations on each of their shoulders. So games will be like this, but we say the top teams obviously grind out those results when you're not supposed to win them. This is that kind of case. If I was the Engine team going into half-time there, Abel, I'd be buzzing with that. It was a 50-50 game. You had great chances there. You'd get such buzz going to that second half, knowing you've not battened down the hatches and you're actually allowed to play expansive football. I think there's genuinely all to be played for in this second half.
Well, let's find out, shall we? 45 minutes then to go. Top of the league, Prolific in the light blue, taking on the dark blue of Engine. 0-0 at half-time. And I think what plays nicely into Prolific's hands here is the fact that they've got the players who have been there, done it. So they're not panicking just yet. And
that is the difference, April, where they've got match winners all over the pitch. Not saying that Engine hasn't, like Mav there with that ball is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
But they do have match winners, all over the pitch, even in the back line.
Totally agreed. Ronaldinho does well. Trey Robertson, once again, he's a tricky customer, is that man. He's got a good goal-scoring record in this highest division of VPG UK. So, again, if he popped up with a goal, it wouldn't be the strangest thing that happened, but Prolifics, and it's the gaffer there. It's the gaffer. Yeah. Professional foul for Mav. Don't think he'll mind it too much, and like Domino was alluding to there, great turn from Hadji. It just opened up for him as well. Had willing runners. And this is kind of what we're saying about Prolific, is they're not panicking just yet. No kitchen sink, no wayward passes. They're so calm on the ball, casual, collected, and here we go. Good save by George. Good positioning from him. Fired straight down the throat, though. And again, it doesn't take much for them to open up that space, Domino. And speaking of open space, far side beats his man. He's looked like a tricky winger out there, has Ronaldinho.
I like that, Abel, and I like someone that plays with, again, zero fear. And when I do think if you're a winger and you've got someone squared at 1v1, it's on the onus of you to take it past them. And what ball that is.
Near post, George is there again. It was very similar to the last one, Domino. Well worked, but lacked the finish. And here is Dino again. Inside it goes to Nova. Out wide to the gaffer. He'll be looking to pick that Hollywood pass, you would think. Just surrounded. And that's what Prolific do well. They've got players who all know what their role is, and I
Please
tell you what, the
stop
role
that.
of that man
Please
is to
stop that.
80-yard whipped pass. I mean, I think EA let him down with the animation a little bit, but just one pass, someone who's in behind.
Yeah, and there's a reason that man Hadji's in that team of the week 8-ball. Guy's got a lot of tools in the locker. Can turn, can work in tight spaces, can find a killer ball. Highest off levels 8-ball.
Nova does well, wins it back for Engine, sets Mav on his way, gives it to Trey Robson over the top. It goes chasing on. Is Dino, the man who's been in for me, just fires it at Wakabashai, holds on to it as well. Safe hands from him, but again, it's on a knife edge, Domino. Both sides coming close. It's hard to say hand on heart who deserves the 3 points here, which usually means it's going to be a draw.
0-0, just how we like to start the channel. I think what is Prolific? Yeah, Prolific haven't even they've got an unblemished record here, Abel. 10 from 10.
Yeah, it's under threat at the moment from a very good Engine side. Crunch, edge of the box, gets crunched himself, holds on to it, gives it to the gaffer, who again happy just to keep the ball. SJ to Joan Lukaku, who's been very quiet from his high standards.
Very
Domino.
quiet, yeah. Normally he's on the end of those chances, or he's the one at the other end of the box winning those flick-ons, winning those knockdowns. Here he is, 8-ball. But we know he's a match winner.
Yeah,
we know
yeah,
he's
exactly.
a match winner.
Here is Crimmy. Back post, looking for Krivas. Wade is there, clears. Trey Robertson does fantastically well. And tell you what, if Robertson doesn't get a goal, you know, at least talking from a managerial point of view, he's had a great game just keeping his side ticking over against, again, a very good defense, a very good outfit in Prolific. I'd be very happy if I was Mav, but of course he's going to be happier if he can get a goal as well. And they're not giving up. 15 minutes to go. Joan Lukaku back there defending, completes the clearance because he's going to get a throw in for his side. Good work from him. And Dom, I was just thinking, going back to that Joan Lukaku point, him and Krivas, the last game we watched last week, those guys were the two focal points. And I think, again, just like that, Mav has found a way to keep those two very quiet whilst still looking dangerous. I'm not just going to say on the counter-attacks. It's not been a counter-attacking display, just on attacks themselves. It's good. How they've set up is very a good way to play against this Prolific side.
Yeah, well, he's kept Joan Lukaku going the other way.
Yeah.
Which has been fantastic from him. But
and, you know,
again, April, final 10 minutes here, who do you think throws the kitchen? It's got to be Prolific throwing the kitchen. Right?
If I'm Engine, I'm sacrificing someone and saying, can you just follow Hadji around? Because if something's going to happen, it's going to come from him. You know, they've got match winners across the park, but he's the one who's feeding those match winners. And if I was Mav, I'd be saying just go and sit on him for the last 10. You know, if we get a 0-0 here, it's hardly a, you know, it's hardly a crime, and you know they've still got potential to go and nick one. But I would say just sit on him. 4 minutes left though, and it is looking like it's going to be a draw. And I think at the start of this, yeah, he's got to get heights. I think at the start of this game, I think he would have been fine with a draw, Mav and Engine. But I think now the game's played, here is Hadji, just going to hold that point. Gets to the byline, goes to the near post, gives it to Grimmy, good block. Mav picks up the loose ball, and Domino almost, I'm not going to wish ill on anyone, but if that had gone in, tactical genius.
He just didn't want to play it, Abel.
Here he is again. He's peeled off into the area, normally occupied by Joan Lukaku, and he said, if you're going to have a quiet game, then I'll come out here and have a noisy game. I tell you what, there's going to be one last chance here. He needs to keep the ball away from being taken down.
He's got to put him down.
Trey Robertson into the box, looking for the back post. Good header from Guto, and I tell you what, he has dug his side out there, Domino. And it's a 0-0 to start off a brand new week, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I tell you what, Domino, what a tactical battle, what a chess match that turned out to be.
Yeah, we always say it. Some of these games are for the purists, April, and that one was for the purists. Both teams, and what I liked about that game the most, if I was Engine, you know my negative mindset, April. After it gets to the 55th minute, I'm like, that's it, shut up shop, guys, get that bus out, park it across that back four. We're taking a point off a team that is currently 10 from 10. and I'm going to use that. I'm going to put that in my trophy cabinet, 8-Ball. But credit to Mav, credit to Little Engine. They were coming ham and tong at them. They wanted the 3 points there. And at the end of the game, 8-Ball, I don't know who will be more disappointed to not walk away with the 3 points.
I think, regardless of what went on in the game, what? Who's useless, Dizzy? Regardless, us, yeah, he's not wrong. Regardless of what happened in the game, Prolific will be annoyed to see that perfect 10. Because I would.
Undefeated? Still undefeated, 8-Ball?
For sure. I mean, it's no slight whatsoever, for sure. But I just think it was a very it's a very nice record to have, and it's a record that should strike fear into the rest of the league. But and like you said, fair play to Engine. They're the ones who rocked up, and they're the ones who the first blemish on the record. And like I was saying, it's easy to have that record where it says 10 and 10 and go, right, how am I gonna pump my team up for this? They've now just proven to the rest of the league, look, this is how it's done. You sit in there, you get compact, and to be honest, I think Engine will look at that and say, if we'd won that, I don't think Prolific themselves, or I don't think anyone watching could have argued with that, because they had the chances, and like I said, they probably arguably had better chances than Prolific. So yeah. I think anyone watching that in the UK Prem, especially those chasing at the top of the table, will be looking at that game and thinking, okay, Engine have kind of just showed us a bit of a blueprint here on how to do it, and I think the rest of the managers should maybe just slip Mav a $5 or so.
Well, Mav is in the chat saying, was our games that? I think that's what they thought. Going in that 60 minutes, 8-Ball, there's a time where the game's getting a little bit tough, and you're like, right, a point would be good here, boys. Like, they're getting on top of us. Let's just try and be more economical. You could see that they came out to try and win those 3 points. So fair play to him, great mentality, and it was a toss-up who would walk away with the 3 points. So I think a draw would probably be the even result across the board, 8-Ball.
Yeah, I said it. I said in comms, didn't I? That the next game we've got on is still 5 minutes, so we actually got time to discuss this game. And you know what? We can get the league table up as well, just to kind of prove our point a little bit here. But I think before the game, whether he'd like to admit it or not, and he probably wouldn't. I wouldn't expect him to. But would he have taken the draw? Probably. I think after that game, and again, him popping up in the chat suggests to me that he's peeved. He is a perfectionist. He's a perfectionist, and I think if there's going to be one manager who can hand on heart say, actually, do you know what, that was ours, I think it would be him. But again, I've touched on this before as well, as far as managers go, and those who kind of do their homework, put in the hard yards and the long hours, there's not many in the industry that do it like his lot do at Engine. So I think from that point of view, he'll look back on that and say, actually, do you know what, yeah, we didn't get the 3 points, but we had the performance. And I think April, you're correct. And sometimes in the moment, in the heat of the moment, you're not going to take the positives out of anything, but you look back on that and be like, look, we went toe to toe with a team not only that's probably the best in the league, but in scintillating form. Yeah. And
expected to kind of get rolled over with Engine coming in the night in 8th. And to put a performance like that, where on par you are going, you're going hammer to hammer with the same team, you'd look at the performance and be like, right, okay, where do we shine there? Defensively, I think they were fantastic. Not only the progressive defending, that they got back into a shape quite nicely, and they didn't allow gaps. Hadji was great on the ball, and he did turn a few, and he did slow down the game, and he did control tempo when he was in possession. But I think what Engine did is didn't bite into that. He didn't let them bait them to come out of position, to slide the ball through. I just think their defensive, their shape was the one thing that obviously kept the game 0-0. Attacking wise, 8-Ball, they've got to rue some of the chances they had, because they were gilt-edged chances.
And again, it'll be the last point before we move on. Trey Robinson's in the chat, which is perfect timing. And I did say on comms, I'm not just glazing here because he's in the chat, but he had a fantastic game and he did everything other than score. And again, when you're talking, if that's the kind of a headline, at the end of a game against top of the league, 10 from 10, then I think you've done quite well. So again, first game of the week, it should set them up nicely for the rest of the week. And I think again, if they're matching that top of the table team, I think they'll do well for the rest of the week, basically. Sorry, Hib completely and utterly put me off there. Right, moving on. I'll keep an eye on the other screen for our next game, but here is the next game. It is the return of the UK Pro Series, Toffees Esports against Baffin's Rovers, two teams that I'm trying to think if we've ever had them on the channel before, Dominic.
I think we have April. I think we've definitely had Baffins on, and I think it was early on in our streaming days. And I can remember having Toffees on, but we've got a lot of people, mate. So I'm pretty sure we've had Baffins Rovers on.
And what I like about, I'll just get rid of my camera slightly. What I like about this, Domino, is we've got a 4-4-2 and we've got a 3-4-3. None of this 3-5-2 stuff. It is, and this is why do you know what? I love watching stuff that's not the two premiers like we normally do. Obviously, love watching the premiers, but we do need to sprinkle these types of games in, and this is why we do it, because 9 times out of 10 they serve up some interesting and scintillating stuff. So really looking forward to this one. They are now lobbying up. So just going to keep an eye on that on this screen. In the meantime, let me just, the next game, Domino, what do you think we should try and hype this up, or what do you reckon?
What, the mid-table clash between Mad Army and Fama?
The main event of the month! It is. To be fair, we said when this game was on, we will be here by hook or by crook. Luckily for us, it's a very sensible time before our bedtime. It is 9:15. It's the game straight after this cup game between Toffees and Baffins. So make sure you do not miss that one. And then our other main event of the evening is Porto Salvo. Domino, we finally get to see these boys again.
Yes.
Every time we've put them on the channel, either them or someone else has rescheduled, and it's left us very sad. We finally get them. Porto Salvo taking on All-Star, aka One Mind. That is your fourth and final game of the evening. And don't forget, over on Pro Clubs Weekly YouTube,
let's go.
It is the VPG Late Night Show, the first one of the series. So as soon as we're done here, head on over to Pro Clubs Weekly YouTube, and we'll be discussing everything that happened tonight. Not just on stream, but in your games as well. So if you're sat there going, I really want to talk about my games, I really want to talk about what happened in my league, in my club, come and have a chat, because
bring that drama.
Everyone is welcome. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't have to.
No, but I need it to be dramatic.
Our preference is that it is dramatic. Right then, let's see how these guys are getting on. That's the background screen. Right, so we've got 4.
Samu in goal. Samu in goal.
It is.
Oh,
so
what a goal.
Toffees lost their goalkeeper, who's very good, by the way. He's moved up a division to go and play for RSN in the UK Prem. Happy days. Toffees, I'm not sure if you can see in the bottom of that screen, they've got Logan R, who is the class goalkeeper for the last 2-3 years, maybe as long as we've been doing this. He's their centre forward, Domino. He's doing a striker season this season.
Big fan.
Why not? Why not? So you would think he would move from centre forward and come and play in goal. Absolutely not. Let's just go and get Samu in goal instead. So these teams are just stockpiling goalkeepers, and very very good goalkeepers at that as well. So fair play. These guys know what they're doing. There's world-class goalkeepers flying all over the place. But the main talking point here is Samu. I think it's his debut. It would make sense if it was his debut, because the other lads just left. Jaros, a very good goalkeeper, by the way. So Samu's debut, and then you've got Logan, who it's anything but his debut, but it's his debut on stream of us watching a very very good UK Premier VPG Esports Premier goalkeeper play up front.
I like the idea of a striker playing up top, because it's all about, like, you've got to suss out what the other opposition keeper's going to do when you're up top. How
That's
they move.
a good point.
And do you know when you're a good attacker, being a defender, you can kind of know which way they're going or read the game slightly better if you play those positions. And to be fair, I'm guessing Logan is a well-attacker. You're not going to get into a team at a top side if you're just going to be like, do you know what, I'm a really good keeper, but I'm going to go play out pitch. You need to hold that position. You need to obviously make it your own. And clearly Logan's done that. And yes, the easy thing would him to be replacing the goalkeeper for a couple of games, but fair play. I mean, again, he must be important to this team, 8-Ball. Not only ability-wise, but he must have been playing in a higher tier than most people on the pitch.
Well, I mean, I guess if you're in and around that environment of Prem anyway, you know, you've got to do kind of like training sessions, you've got to do small mans, but also if you're good at the game, you're good at the game. It doesn't really matter like where you play. And I think you make such a good point with he's going to know all about the goalkeeping mechanics. So I think that actually makes him very, very dangerous. And you know, maybe that's why they've done it in the first place. But I'm just going to go and have a look for these two sides, because what I want to know is two things. So basically, this is UK Pro Series for those of you who don't know. And when you go into the old style, it's like the Champions League groups of 4, you qualify through that. Toffees are on 4 points, Baffins are on 1. So basically, if Toffees draw this, they are through. I don't think they're going to want to play for just a draw, Domino. So there's a lot to play for at the moment. It does look like they're not going into the game. That's good. And I just want to find out how many goals Logan's got here. And don't forget, Only Bams is the cam. He's got 11 goals in 20 games. So fair play. Yeah, fair play. His strike partner, is it him who's playing up front tonight? Wrong button. Strike partner, yeah. Touch. He is on. They're just going into the game now. Just keep an eye on it. 19. So between those two guys, lots of goals going on. Let's check Bam's assists, because he's a player we saw. I'm going to say last year, because it definitely wasn't last season. He's a player that we saw. Again, it was in a cup. Plays in cam, and he's on 14 assists for the season, like we knew it would be. So they've got a front three who is looking pretty dangerous, and that's before you even talk about any of the other players. So all to play for.
And to be fair, if anyone in the Baffins is in the chat, I'd like to know if we've covered you before, because I genuinely think we have. For some reasons I remember it.
I don't think we have.
I'm using the chat as well. Debut time, 8-Ball, you are correct.
Yay! Finally. Alright, once every blue moon I am correct, and I'll try and get correct with these two sides. It is Toffees, not playing in an Everton shirt, but they are playing in Everton blue, which is relatively helpful. From left to right, and it is Baffins Rovers in all white from right to left. It's a must-win game for Baffins Rovers, so expect them to come out of the traps flying. For these boys in blue, the Toffees, they'll want to get it to the gaffer, and they'll want to get it to that front two who are in red hot form. 30 goals between them so far this season. Here is the talisman and the gaffer as well, Domino. Bam. Headed down. Can he get on the end of it? Yes, he can. Kempy slides in his strike partner, Jacob. Keeper go. How on earth? How on earth has he saved that? He committed to that far side. The striker did everything right. He had no right of saving that, Domino.
Sammy with the dark art table, I'm not going to lie to you. He left their near post wide open. He's like, yeah, there you go. I made a move too early. No weight there. Turned it back in. I mean, it was a bold strategy, Hateful, but I tell you what,
paid off.
Samu.
Here is Dante. Hits the crossbar. Rebound. Gets it to touch, and he's headed wide. 20 plus goals this season.
Threw me 8-Ball. the keeper animation threw me. When the header came back in, the keeper dived in his own goal, and I was like, well, that's got to go in. And I think it was quite far wide.
Yeah, you would expect a player of Touch's ability and his goal record, at the very least, to put that one away. But as is the usual way with Cup Football, Domino, this one has started like a match that's on fire.
We did always say the second match on the stream, April, is that's the end.
It depends. It depends what game we're on. Whatever game we're on, this is the game, boys and girls. This is the one. They go along. Joker picks up. Good turn from him. Feeds Jacob. Slides it through to Hopwood. Good tackle there from Kiza. Long it goes in search of those two danger men, but Feng is there. Gives it to Joker, who's looked tidy early on. Fergie into Kempe, drops the shoulder. Cam steps in, tidies up for the boys in blue, but Joker's there once again. Good ball into Kempe's feet. Slides it through to Hopwood, drops the shoulder. Samu is there again to turn it around the post, and at the moment, Domino, he's the busier of the two goalkeepers.
Big money side in April.
Oh, yeah.
I'm out on an absolute steal.
He was at Liam Ewers' side, but again, they've got too many goalkeepers, and there is Hopwood unmarked in the 6-yard area. Fires it home, fires his side into the lead. It has been coming, to be honest, and Baffins find themselves a goal to the good. Is goal difference now going to come into play to see who qualifies for the knockout stages of this UK Pro Series? We'll have a little look at half-time to see if we can get those tables up, but these boys will know what's at stake here, and they'll know how many goals they need. Touch into the box. Looking for the back post. Feng is there.
It has been all Baffins, though, April.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see what the Toffees can do here.
Jonah.
And like you said, when you've got the prolific front three that they've got, they just need those chances, April.
Yeah,
Once they get those chances, things can happen. But if I was Baffins, I wouldn't slow down on this momentum.
If they don't slow down, that suggests to me that they know they need some extra goals to tick that goal difference over, and that, from a neutral point of view, Domino, is music to my ears. So fire away, Baffins, because you guys scoring first is really, really going to open this game up. And they've got another corner, which they scored from in the last attack, and they've got men at the back post unmarked. Tommy, I tell you what, the flick on, look at that back post, 3 players there. Flick on was there, and Toffees at the moment just a little bit in danger of just letting this one just slip out of their hands.
Yeah, but both teams are leaving space in behind. It's whichever
it's
team
wide
can
open.
exploit it quick enough, really. Once teams get into their shapes, April, like here you go, 2v2. But once you allow them to get into their shape.
The fullbacks for Toffees Esports, I don't think I've seen them in their own box yet. It's a very, very attacking formation. They've got 2 Trent Alexander-Arnolds at the in fullback, and it's leaving them wide open at the moment. Kempe once again, Cam, who's had a lot to do, and he's going to have a lot to do for the rest of this game if those fullbacks are going to continue to push up high. But at the moment, they just seem to be leaving it to Cam and Kiza and Samu, whilst the rest of them say, we're just going to go up and try and score a few goals. But look how many white shirts. I mean, luckily for them, Cam's having a very good game, and so is Samu. Logan picks it up, the loose ball on this near side, gives it to the gaffer, Dante on the overlap. Cuts inside, looking for feet ball, but Domino, that's the fullback there, Dante, breaking into the box. And this is what happens. It's just chaos. I love it. They're on stream. They're on stream. They're coming for a good time.
This is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. They'll be welcomed back if they carry on this way. None of this prolific engine stuff.
Yeah, shocking that. 0-0. How'd you jump on stream and do a 0-0 to us?
Yeah, Vinci over to the fullback, of course. Good battling from Condem. I thought he was going to give a free kick there, but it's the offside. 38 minutes, Domino. It's absolutely flown by. We don't want this game to end.
No, and I do think, like, there's got to be respect to both these teams. If both these teams are throwing caution to the wind here, April, and he's going to get onto the end of that.
Yeah, Logan keeps it alive. Blyther decides not to come. The ex-Phoenix man. Bam. looking for Striker's feet, finds Striker's feet, but the white shirts are completely and utterly swamping him. And here they go. They look dangerous on the counter-attack. That man on the far side trying to stay on side. He does stay on side. It is Jacob. Gets the shot. Fires it home. Back post. It is. Doubles the lead. What a finish that is. He was patiently waiting for that ball. And when he got it, Jacob made absolutely no mistake. And I tell you what, Domino, if it wasn't game on before, it's certainly game on now. 2-0. Toffees have to come out because they're in danger of getting knocked out of this UK Pro Series.
And Abel, they've got to leave more space behind now because they've got to go for the game.
More?
But fantastic play, Abel, and it's that pass. He went early, he was offside, and then obviously the ball did not come. Another mistake here, Abel, for the Toffees.
Oh, Kempy onto the left foot, finds Hopwood. Samu, third world-class save.
At the minute.
Well, exactly, third world-class save of the half, and he's already conceded 2 goals, so he's been the busiest player for this Toffees.
He's been their man of the match, and he's conceded 2 goals.
Yeah, exactly. Right, if he stays on side here, which, to be honest, mate, I don't think he did. But I tell you what, Baffin's Rovers will be very, very happy with that first half. Of course they will. And they're the side who go in. They're leading the dance at the moment, Domino. It is 2-0, and we'll start with the leaders, Baffins. Talk to me about that performance. Maybe the first time we've seen them.
Yeah, and April, they've been quality, not only at retaining the possession, but I think in the nicest possible way, they're going to think what's going on here, because as soon as they get the ball, April, the space in behind there, with the fullbacks pushing really high up, they've only got 2 options there, and they're 2 really good options. 2 through balls. They're not having to find a lot of technicians to unlock defences. The defence are half unlocked anyway. They're kind of just walking through the door. It's not even like a battering ram situation. The door is open. It's on the latch, and they're kind of like walking in.
Open invitation.
It's a hard one for Toffees because they're 2-0 down there, and now they need to go in a bit more expansive and go to win the game. But there's so much space in here for Baffins. The greatest thing that Baffins done, they didn't get disheartened by Samu's world-class performance.
Yeah.
They kept chipping away, and they've got the 2 goals that they do deserve, April. And we're looking for more of the same here, and they are back through here.
Here we go. Jonah, 1-on-1. What a tackle that is from Condem. Fantastically timed. It had to be. And again, that's the left back, Domino. It's the left back. Make it make sense, because it doesn't at the moment. It really, truly doesn't. And I'm so here for it. So here for it. And it's Bam's team, Domino. He's an attacking player. And I tell you what, here's the fullback again. It is Dante. Halves the lead, halves the deficit. The Toffees are back in this early doors. The left back just missed the chance. The right back was certainly not going to miss that chance. It is 2-1 to Baffins. Toffees must have got a telling off at half-time, Domino.
Oh, yeah, Bam was in there, isn't he, April?
Well, it's what I was saying, you know. It's very much a case of the style of play from this Toffee side matches the gaffer. He plays in a very attacking style of play. He's a very entertaining player. He's stamped that on this team, and it's a joy to watch from a neutral point of view. I'm not sure how happy I would be if I was a Toffees fan at the moment, but there's still a lot of this game to play, and you can't complain for lack of entertainment, that's for sure.
I'd say, yeah. I mean, they looked at the last stream and they were like, hold my bit.
Yeah, they're like, don't worry, we'll save this stream. Fama Mad Army who? Headed down by Tommy. Free pull. Free at the back post was Condemned. I tell you what, he's the man who made that tackle all but 10 minutes ago, and he could have been the hero once again. Instead, headers over. A proper centre-back's header that was, Domino.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know if you had time to take it down. I would have done the exact same thing, though, April. I mean, you've been gifted a free header. You do need to put a bit of mustard on it because, like I said, there was no pace on that ball. I think I would have adjusted that too. But, yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever won a header in real life or on pro club, so I can't
confirm.
Here
Bam,
we go.
2-touch Blyther there, bread and butter for him. And again, we don't know the state of play in terms of the goal difference. But the way that Baffins are coming out here, they're either trying to entertain us, which is fine by me, or they know they need another goal or 2 or 3 or 4, however many. So, again, from our point of view, from a a neutral point of view, long may it continue, but it would be really interesting. I might see if I can do it in the other screen and just see if I can work out what the goal difference is. The annoying thing is, Domino, is trying to get onto the UK Pro Series is really difficult. It's really fiddly, so I'm not sure if I can do it whilst calling it. I'm good, but I'm not that good.
Right, I will try to work my way around this one.
Vincey, touch, takes it down, fires it home. It is 2 apiece. It's Desmond, touch with the finish, Vince with the assist. We are back level, back to where we started. Toffees 2 apiece from nothing. And the good thing for Baffins really is they know that they can score 2 goals in a half. So Vincey sends a man for a Twix. Here we go. Just got an assist, fresh off an assist. Gives it to one of the goal scorers, gets it back. Some good attacking football from the boys in blue. You could see what he was trying to do. You could see what he was trying to do. Triple J, formerly of R4P, restarts us at base of that midfield for the Toffees. Wins it, gives it to Jonah. Clay to Dante. Bam, good tackle from Fergie.
Halves here is April, because it's really hard to separate how you've got 2 halves on completely different spectrums.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're exactly the same. It's just whoever's shooting right to left scores the goals.
They made an agreement here.
Jonah to Clay, looking for Edger. Joker, by the way, has been my man of the match. I know there's been 4 goals flying in, but he's just been everywhere. Fergie looking for Joker. Down the line it goes to Jacob, who's been very good as well. Get to the byline, near post, Samu. I mean, he's not had much to do, but I tell you what, he's been alert when he's been called on. A 3-goal swing is what we need, Domino. 3-goal swing. Can confirm. There you go.
In that whole time that you were trying that, I got stuck in the VPG Turkish League.
Here is Jacob for the swing. Cam off the line. Stabs it back in. Dante this time. Cam clears. Cam gets it back. Cam loses out. It's the Cam show. Keezer, his partner at the back.
3-goal swing, 8-ball, and there were 2-0.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. I mean, if they'd slotted it home there, it's doable. Unless they get one right now. I mean, there's still... It depends what's going on in the other game. Keys, I tell you what, he needs to be careful. Squared at Cam, to be fair. I mean, he was in the Pro Clubs Weekly chat earlier on, and he was giving it a bit large. And I was kind of hoping he wouldn't have a good game.
You got to back it up. Yeah,
he's been very good. He's been very, very good. Fair play to him. Vincey there, helping that back line out. Finally, they need all the help they can get. This Toffee's back line has been bombarded. But also they're doing some bombardment of themselves. Squares it across. Is that a tackle? Oh no. I'm not going to say anything about goalkeepers playing in striker, but
that's a goalkeeper finish.
On a plate for him. Touch did everything right. Fires it. Oh, shut your mouth, 8-ball. Shut your mouth, 8-ball.
You have nothing.
Toffee's completely. He's doing it to me. He's doing it to me.
Yeah, he's always said out.
I deserve it. I deserve it. Fair play, Logan. And what a finish. What a finish. 10 times harder than the one he just missed. Puts his side into the lead. Toffee's complete. A 2-goal turnaround. 3-2 they lead on the night. That place in the next round of the VPG UK Pro Series is safe. At halftime there, I did not think we would be saying that about any team other than Baffins.
No, and I don't understand what happened in this Baffins camp. Someone needs to talk to me. I don't know if it was a formation shift where they're like, right, okay, well, we need to keep 2 people back here, but they've been a completely different beast in this second half.
Bam, edges. I mean, we need both sides to come on to the late night show later on and talk to us about what happened in that changing room at halftime. What was said. Like, Baffins, did someone find out that someone else was sleeping with someone else's wife? I don't know. Something happened. Or was it, on the other side, Toffee's, the threat of someone sleeping with someone else's wife unless they got back into this game? Something happened, and we need to know. Get on the show later on and talk us through this, because that is one of the best turnarounds we've ever seen on stream. There is confirmation of that turnaround.
Moments away from April. They ripped away from jaws of defeat there, April. Those 3 points, and they go into the next round, and it's gotta hurt if you're Baffin's 8-ball, knowing that you need a 3-goal swing, knowing you're getting your team in form. You go 2 goals up, and you're like, boys, we're in this, we've got this. Oh, it's a cruel game, 8-ball. It is a cruel game sometimes.
Like I just said, we will discuss this, and we'll watch it back if needs be. If you boys want to come over to the late night show, we'll over on Pro Clubs Weekly after this stream, we will discuss what we just watched there, because it was one for the ages, Domino. I mean, we had a proper chess match to begin with. I don't even know what kind of a match that was. That was just all-out warfare.
Wild West gunslinging, 8-ball. That was that.
All that's left to say is congratulations to Toffees, commiserations to Baffins. Obviously, both of those teams welcome back here whenever you want. I mean, we'll watch the next game. There's not really much going on next anyway, is there, Domino?
I mean, I would always say, no matter who's the next game, but how would you follow that? Like, how would you follow the excitement and quality and the chance and the saves? Mate, we could make a whole video of just clips of that game. Unbelievable.
And we will. And we will.
And we will. But I tell you what, April, this is that kind of game where on the weekend, you're like, oh, there's obviously Liverpool playing Man City, which is a massive game. And then you look at this, I was like, I am probably more excited for Mad Army versus Fama in the virtual world than I was for actual real football. It's crazy.
And that's where we currently live our lives, is in this sad little virtual world. That's not so sad, because tonight's a Monday. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday is not sad. Any other night's quite sad.
Logan in the chat as well, 8-ball, love it.
Yeah, that's my bad. That's my bad. That's one way to silence people, to be fair. Samu as well. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Samu and Cam are arguably the 2 best players on the pitch. Their team scored 3 goals. They conceded 2 goals. None of it makes sense, but here we are. That's why we watch it. That is why we're here, boys and girls. Like I said, join us later on for the first ever late night show. And we want to know what happened at halftime in those games.
Oh yes, 100%.
We kind of need to know. It's not really like, I'm not being like, oh, please come on. I think you kind of have to, because I kind of need to know. Right. Nayshaw and Polgar are 2 streamers. Also just happen to be 2 of the best players in the world, which leads me on to my next point. And this is a very, very big game, Domino, not just because they're 2 very good sides, which we both know they are, but because of this league table. Mad Army, top of the table, 13 games played, 10-1, 3 draws, no losses. The only team in the league with that O. And Domino, my question to you is that O gonna go? Because they're taking on second place Fama.
Well, I've got so much love for both teams and so much love for the individual players here. Like, we know them because we speak to them personally. We met a couple of them, obviously, at the LAN event, 8-ball. And this is saying with no criticism or critique. And the reason I'm saying is, I love what our Mad Army are doing. I just always can't root against Fama in big games. I don't know what it is. It's just because the experience they've got in these heavyweight clashes. They've all been there in the same team for these heavyweight clashes. Mad Army do have the players that have been there together or individually, because they've all played in the top level. Player for player, I don't think you can pull this team apart much. If you go individual player on paper, I think it's a dead rubber. It's 50-50. But I just think Fama's got something in them on big games, 8-ball. It's that black magic. I think they've got something there for big games.
I agree, and I think Fama have now been around long enough that people know what to expect, and I think this side that Polgar and Co have built, I think this side is ready for it. I think what they've put together and the players they've managed to keep together. So the likes of Barisha, Mookie, Atsu, Festic, Capone, and that man Polgar, Warren SG, they've all played together under different teams or whatever. And then the players that they then built around, so Elias, Latoff coming back in from Fenerbahce, they've managed to build a side that I genuinely think Fama will look at and go, right, do you know what? We do have that black magic. We do have that ability to pick a win out of nothing. However, we've got to be at our best. We've just got to be at our best.
Yeah, this will come down to a game of very, very fine margins here, 8 Ball.
Oh, yeah.
I don't expect both teams, like the last game, to go blow for blow with each other. I do think one team will settle into a better rhythm earlier than the other, and the other team will just have to soak that up until their chances come. And it's going to be really hard because both have got such defining styles. When, let's say, the Barcelona of old, they would go on the pitch and you know what to expect every single time. They wouldn't change a philosophy or how they've done it. Where you look at the great Man United team and you'd have 5 at the back sometimes, then you'd have the 4 at the back in Champions League games. We'd edit their style. I think both teams are not going to edit based on what the other team's got. They're going to think they're better than them on the pitch, and it's going to be a really interesting stylistic matchup.
Yeah, totally agree. And I'm praying they don't cancel each other out. I'm praying that they wanna make a statement tonight. Normally we get that towards the back end of the season, and what we'll get here is a bit more of a chess match. I've got a feeling tonight, Domino, and the likes of Polga, of Elias, of Warren, of Ryad, they're all in just scintillating form at the moment.
Yeah.
And when you have a look at the likes of how Fama have been playing recently, they've been playing well, don't get me wrong. I don't think they've been up there the same heights as Mad Army in terms of performances out of 10, but Nayshaw have been dropping 10s out of 10s all season. Luca have been dropping 10s out of 10s all season. We've said it time and time again. All Fama need to do is win their individual battles and just give it to those two. They will do the rest, and that's what this Fama side, whether they like to admit it or not, that's what don't get me wrong, you know, the likes of Creativo, Dreezy, Tazic will always, you know, NGK, the list goes on. They'll come up with a goal or come up with a world-class assist, don't get me wrong, but if those two players are performing 10s out 9 10s every night, Fama will be at the top of the, you know, top 2, top 3, regardless of what the other. Me and you could go and play in that team, Domino, and if they're playing 10s and 9s every single week, you know, we'd be picking up some kind of top 3, top 4 place finish. I don't think. I think Mad Army will really, for the first time, really fancy themselves tonight, and that excites me because normally it's the complete other way around.
Yeah, you got that. You get that fear. Sometimes Fama beat you before they even step on the pitch. Sometimes just the name alone holds weight to make you play a different game because you know you're playing against one of the best teams. But these people, again, we know the Mad Army team individually as people. They've played against Fama how many other times? So for them, I don't think it's going to be a deer in headlight situation. I think they're going to relish this game to try and take a scalp off a team that they're competing against. And the other thing, the psychological thing, Mad Army are, I think, 4 points ahead of them with a game in hand. So they know if they can drop this one, they're still in a bit of the driving seat, although they won't want to do it, where Fama know they need to close the gap this early on. So I do think the mentality is there with Mad Army, but it's really hard to bet against the big names that are Fama.
The thing that worries me, Domino, you touched upon it there, is Mad Army have that gap. From a neutral point of view, I really wish they didn't have that gap. Just so, because if Mad Army, would they take a draw right now? I'm not saying they're going to play for a draw, but would they take it? They probably would because of that gap. If we're talking, you know, level on points, level on games, then it gets a little bit different because you want to just separate yourselves from them. That's not the case tonight. I'm not going to say it's going to be a dead rubber by any stretch of the imagination because I do think there's going to be fireworks tonight. I can just feel it in my bones.
Yeah.
But I think that comes with an early goal. I'm going to caveat that with an early goal because if we get to halftime, if we get to 60, 70 minutes, you know we're going to get some 80 plus minute drama and it's going to be a 1-0. As much as I enjoy those, how about a 6-5? That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, why not? And the only other thing that we didn't mention, as we're just about to kick off, there might be the slight advantage, 8 Ball, because Mad Army are sending. So that might be a little bit of
Mad Army are at home as well. And there's been a late change to the Family Cow lineup too. Kenny is out. Nogueira is in. So a change at the back for Fama right at the last second is not going to be how they wanted to start this game against top of the league. And you can see we've got the very handsome Polgar in the top right-hand corner, putting us to shame, Domino.
Stacks, April. You know he's got that fire in his belly when something happens, April.
He's sat very, very close to the screen, like he is locked in now. Is Fama in the white from right to left? They are away tonight. And it's Mad Army in the all black from left to right, top of the league, playing against arguably, historically, the best team in the world. So we couldn't really ask for more, Domino.
No. I mean, this game is mouth-watering, April, and I think there's just tension in this room, April. I ain't even there.
Over the top from Nayshaw to chase is Zinni. Cuts back, gives it to the dangerous Nayshaw. Dreezy. Taziak gives it to Luca, looking for that first time shot come pass. Down the line it goes to Yanis.
Yeah, there's the danger here is April. Polgar's getting a lot of touches on the ball. He's dropping into positions in those areas. It's those two talisman, isn't it? That pick up the ball makes something happen. The Lucas, the Polgars, and the Nayshaws.
That's it. Taziak looking for one of those guys is Luca. Partnered up front tonight by NGK. The names just roll off the tongue, Domino. It's 22 world-class players battling out for your viewing pleasure. Looking inside, Taziak cuts it out, gives it to Nayshaw, look to drop that shoulder. Taziak and co winning it back. There's a man over here. NGK gets the wrong side of his marker, gives it to Luca, goes one way, goes the other, goes for the shot.
Oh my.
Roof of the net, and minimal
Polgar's face there, Abel.
Well, you know you're playing a demon. You just, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't get close enough to him because he'll leave you for dead. But also minimal backlift, left or right foot. I mean, technically you did find the net, just the wrong side.
Yeah, and the warning sign there, April, I do think it's good for Man Army because they're not sitting in a shape. They are playing out. And here they are.
Oh, Yanis has got the return pass. Good block in the end. They're going to keep the pressure on with Latov. Gives it to Polgar, the danger man. He is in cam tonight, playing in front of Capone and Festic as he usually does. Here is the latter, Festic. Dreezy's clearance blocked. Gonzalo gives it to Taziak. Warren SG wins it back for his side. Topsy-turvy in that midfield, Domino. That's how I like it. I don't want it to settle. I don't want anyone to get into a rhythm. I want this chaos, and that is what we're getting. Big shout out to Elias, by the way, on that left-hand side of midfield. 3 players of the teams of the weeks in a row from that man, and here he is, ghosting in behind. Perfectly timed Nogueira. That emergency centre back coming in for Kenny at the very last minute. Very tidy.
Not bad emergency.
I was going to say, yeah, very. I mean, me and you are emergencies. Nogueira is just a world-class player, so fair play to them. Ball comes in. Gonzalo clears. Yanis picks up. Iniesta. Back post. Gonzalo wins. Latov heads it down to his centre-half partner. And
the one play you don't want there.
Famlacal scrambled to get it away and then get into a bit of a rhythm. I like that. NGK to Luca, looking for the return pass. Under pressure does well. Fama on the attack once again. Dreezy, Luca's feet. Finds a way to NGK, looking to play it in behind. Mookie is there. Good defending from him. Gonzalo out wide. You don't normally see him out there. Nayshaw over the top. Looking for, you guessed it.
Yeah, it's a hard one, 8 ball. Like the keeper's, it is a great ball because it's that corridor uncertainty, isn't it? Keeper's not come in, it could fall anywhere.
Bit too straight though, bit too straight.
We've talked about this before, 8 ball.
Here we go. Taking their sweet time. Luke is taking the corner, he can do what he wants. Take goal kicks if he wants. I mean, that was proof that he is actually human.
And shouldn't take orders.
And shouldn't take orders, more to the point. Festic, down the line it goes to the dangerous Elias. They try on this near side this time. Toff to Warren SG, keeping the ball well. Are the league leaders. Festic almost losing out there. Atsu to Polgar, dropping short, dropping deep. Loses his man, looking to cook. Will settle for keeping the ball. He is locked in behind the scenes. You can see that, man. Yanis gives it to Elias, and Edu Martins decides to parry at the expense of a corner. Mad Army's turn, second of the game for those guys. Put a bit of pressure on. Again, what many would consider the best team in the world, Domino, Famalicão.
Yeah, both corners from both sides, 8 Billows and Lackluster. Let's see if they can find a...
Oh, that's much better. That's much better. Off the line it goes. Yanis keeps it alive, and again, you're not going to get much closer than that without converting. The header was cleared off the line. It was tame, but it was directed right into that corner, and I think Famalicão are counting their lucky stars that they put men on the posts. Not a lot of teams
to be fair, kids out there watching 8 Ball, rule 1, isn't it, for those corners? You got to keep the man on the post.
Rule number 2, second ball. Creativo to Breccia. Switches the play into a very busy area. They managed to... Oh, Taziek. Good football from him. Definitely didn't want it back, though, and it's going to be Mad Army. The home side, don't forget. Polga currently playing on 4 ping. Elias to the byline. That's why this is the smoothest stream I've ever had, by the way.
Polga's having a great time out there.
Polga literally streams from the EA office. 5 minutes to go till half time. Ball comes in. Another good corner from Mad Army. Nogueira to NGK. Falls nicely to Gonzalo. Zinni.
What a time to get a goal here, mate. What a time for a team to get a goal.
Yeah, changes that half-time team talk. And we know how important those are, Domino, after the last game. Nashaw drops the shoulder nicely. Gets Famalicão up the pitch. NGK cut out by Capone. Space to run into. Instead, lets Warren do his running. He's going to switch it over to Mookie. Fired in, Dreezy there. On it like a flash. You just get no time on the ball in games like this, Domino. It's a scary prospect.
Yeah.
Taziek looking for the world-class ball. I tell you what, why not? Why not? Half-time then, Domino, and we thought there'd be fireworks. I would still argue that there are fireworks, right? There are. Just very small, tame fireworks. Like, these are children's fireworks. They're still entertaining.
Yeah, the noise-reducing fireworks.
Yeah, yeah. Your dog's not barking just yet, and there's no fear that any of these fireworks are going to fall over and go into the crowd. But there's potential, Domino. There's potential, and often what happens in these games, the two sides just cancel each other out. Is that a case of what's happening here? Is my question to you.
Yeah, I don't think both teams have been that... They've created chances, but they've been very measured in what they're doing. And you'd expect that. I wouldn't expect one team to go all out against the other team. Each are worried about getting too high. When Moot got the ball there, ball was switched across 3 yards. He had space to run to, he passed it and got back into shape. That's what I'm talking about, when Moot had green space to carry it into. Yeah. I think one team, and you'll know 8 Ball, you will know where if a point's going to be good for you here or if you deserve the win. And I don't think you can feel each way, but I do think there's a lot of this game to play, and there's Luca in there, and 8 Ball!
Oh, there it is, Luca. I mean, the problem is, because he's so dangerous, they all went to him to shut him down because it's shaped up nicely on that right foot. He slid in his strike part at NGK, and he made no mistake. From 18 yards, fired it into the top corner. Berisha, there's not too much you can do about a finish like that, and it is Fama who come out. Told you, Domino, those halftime team talks, baby.
They've been different, 8 Ball. They've been different today.
They're hitting hard tonight. I don't know what's in the Kool-Aid tonight, but you get in there and get those halftime cups of tea, all of a sudden things happen.
And to be fair, you've got to give a shout out to him, 8 Ball, because I think most of the season he's played second fiddle to Luca, but he's a big game player when you need him, and when his team does need him, 8 Ball, like, again, he's such fantastic. But obviously, when your name's against Luca in a 2, you always are the bridesmaid and never the bride in those kind of situations. But what a fantastic goal from him. And fair play for Luca, always trusting the strike partner.
Yeah. I mean, as selfish as Luca is, he's not a selfish player. So again, make that make sense. 9 times out of 10, other than when he's taking corners, he's picking the right choice. And the right choice was there because he drew in 3 players, 3 Mad Army defenders. And speaking of drawing players in, there's the shot. Edu Martins equal to it. Good reactions from him. Turns it around. Another corner for Mad Army. Yeah, much better.
Yeah, they just quicken the pace there, 8 Ball. They quicken the pace.
I think that's what you've got to do against this side. Fama are very good at defending leads as well. So if they can get it, an equaliser early on. Warren SG back post Nogueira there. Yeah, that late replacement paying dividends. Polga down the line to Warren SG. Keeps it alive. He is swarmed out by Luca. Look at that. Thankless task all the way back there. And Fama just doing that. The hard yards out there, Domino. You know, Luca tracking back 90 yards away from goal. His strike partner running down the line 80 yards away from goal. They win possession back. And I think that's probably what we're going to start to see now creeping in for this last half an hour. Is Fama just, I mean, I say that as Fama looks very dangerous going forward there. Yeah. The problem is Mad Army are not going to want to lose this game. We said at the start they'll take a draw here, and I think they still would, especially as they're 1-0 down now. But they've got to come out playing because they do not want to give up ground that they've worked so hard over the last 13, 14 games to make up. Polga back post, what a ball that is. Oh, Taziak. Such a tidy player, Taziak.
Oh, it's just Silky, isn't he? So speak about Silky.
I was going to say, yeah, I mean, which one of these? We could just say the same thing. Just get a sound loop. Dreezy looking for striker's feet was held off well, but
yeah, you will do.
Once again, just a reminder of how dangerous Fama are. They're 11 world-class players, and if again, you know, if Luca's not doing the damage, then fine. They'll give it to someone who can, and unfortunately for Mad Army, they've got a plethora of players who fit that mold, who fit that bill. This time it was NGK, and again, like you said, Domino, used to playing second fiddle. He does not care. He will be there when the team needs him, whether it be left midfield, right midfield, or striker. He'll do the business, and tonight that's the difference between the two sides. As we get into the 70th minute, 20 minutes to go for Mad Army to find something, get something out of this game. Polka goes back post. Creativo, who we've had absolutely nothing from going forward, he's chucked in there at fullback, and I genuinely think this is what Fama are going to do now. Look at that, 10 men behind the ball with Luca tracking back as well. Welcome to trying to win the VPG Esports Premier, Elias.
Oh, well done. It's great work, great defending, 8 Ball. Getting people behind the ball, like again, it's another thing in Fama's locker where they can shut up shop, 8 Ball. And here goes NGK marauding down this left-hand side.
I don't think that. Do you know what? I don't think that. Yeah, they won't mind that. They won't mind that. It's burnt more time. They're now another 5 minutes closer to picking up maximum points here, which again, if you're a Fama player, you're a Fama fan, 3 points away from home against league leaders or Mad Army it's the stuff dreams are made of, and they would have went to bed last night dreaming of this, Domino, and if they could pick up the win here, they'll sleep well again tonight, I think.
Yeah.
Capone. Overlap is Holger. Yeah, just gets caught coming inside. They do.
Again, 8 Ball.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal. He is phenomenal. But Fama have an issue in that the ball just keeps coming back at them, and there's only so long that you can keep these world-class players out. It's 6 and 7. Mookie hits the post, and it comes straight back out to Edu Martins.
Look at Polga's face, 8 Ball. Polga does what's happening.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. It was an open goal. I'm not sure who that was who tried to finish it. Was it Atsu? Was it Mookie? I don't know if they've sent Big Mookie up front.
Yeah. They have. Mook's up top now,
and that's again. It's, you know, no disrespect to him, but he's on a centre back build. It's not who you want the ball to fall to, and that's exactly why. Struck the post of a semi-open goal, and like I said, there's only so long you can hold off a team of world-class players, and he almost paid the sacrifice there. But Zinni is gonna look to burn off some more time. Can't do so. Is Polga. Goes long again, a bit too straight. NGK will be told to hold this ball up, and look at this space for Creativo to run into. You know he's not going towards the goal, don't you? Hold it. Oh, here we go. Drops the shoulder, takes about 5 players out. Nashor into the box, and Elias very, very good tackle, and he needed to be spot on there. And unfortunately for Fama, he was. It's now officially kitchen sink time. And I tell you what, that's not where you want the kitchen sink to go if you're going to lose the ball.
Taziak. Go long here, 8 Ball.
Yeah, just waiting for those Mad Army players to come in and commit themselves. NGK, no rush. Couldn't hold it up, and it needs to go. It needs to go. Oh, they're not going to get a chance to do it. There is confirmation. Family Cow 1, Mad Army 0. We said it. The chances are, Dominic, it was going to be a 1-0. It was going to be tight, and that's exactly what we got. We wanted fireworks. Instead, we got a game that potentially we're going to look back on at the end of the season and say, is that where they won the league? Is that where they lost the league? Potentially.
Yeah, and Mad Army have got to get out of their head because that's only one game. But sometimes those losses and those hard loss 8 Ball start spiraling. You start thinking where it went wrong. And it's easy to throw the baby out with the bathwater, 8 Ball, in situations like this, where you just say, well, we need to change this. I mean, they've been almost flawless for 13 games, 8 Ball, with 3 blemishes of draws. This is the first loss on their record. And it's no shame because it's against, again, arguably for the last however many seasons, the best pro clubs team in the world. And we said it earlier on stream. That's why it's really hard to go against Fama, because time and time again, games like this, 8 Ball, they just pull something off. They've got something about them in big games, in big situations, in big matches, and time again, they always prove me right.
Yeah, for sure, mate. For sure. I mean, I'm just looking at the table now. I've got a few guys at home as well. That puts Fama on 32 points, a point behind Mad Army, but Mad Army do have that game in hand over them. They've got the superior goal difference. So it's like you said, Domino, don't freak out just yet. These guys are professionals. These guys are a very good side. We'll check on how they get on in this second game. Same with Fama on the late night show. After this, jump on over to Pro Clubs Weekly YouTube. We'll keep you updated on this league table. We'll keep you updated on everything. And that's your invitation as well, guys at home, to jump in. Let us know how your evening's gone as well. I mean, for now, Mad Army, Fam Lacal, thank you very much. Commiserations to Mad Army. Congratulations to Fam. And like we said, they just find a way to get it done. Right. We've got one more game for you. And as soon as I find a stream for it, I'll let you know what it is. There we go. It is Porto Salvo taking on the old One Mind boys. Oakley's in the chat. Good evening to you, Oakley. All-Star. Changed their name. Haven't changed their players, though. They're still a world-class side, Domino. DeFreezy and Cam, so that keeps Domino happy. But I'm going to start off by talking about Leo's Porto Salvo. Again, they're a side that we've referenced a lot in the last 3 weeks because they're a side we saw a lot of in pre-season. How impressed with this side, Domino, were you in pre-season, and now subsequently how they're doing this season in terms of league table?
8 Ball, I am gonna say, before you ask me that question, I looked at the Porto Salvo team and I thought, because I'm dyslexic, I had the Loser in the middle. I'm like, what is happening? Don't worry, guys, it's not. But to answer your question, 8 Ball, when they started playing, we didn't know much about them. I didn't know much about them. I know about their players like Furan at top, but didn't know much about the team in itself. They were fantastic in that pre-season tournament, and I automatically thought they were a mid-table team going straight into it because they were inconsistent, but when they were on 8 Ball, they were on. When they were locked in, they were a very, very hard team to play against. Yeah. And they've took some big scalps in that team. And sitting around 11th at the minute, I could say that's a fair position from what we saw from them in that pre-season tournament. I think the boys at Porto Salvo, for the taste of big leagues, to be ahead of teams like Alte and Besiktas and One Mind, you're kind of thinking, do you know what? We're not doing too bad here. I'd be really happy if I was the Porto Salvo team and manager.
Yeah, and that's pretty much my point is, you know, the likes of, and these are teams that we're going to follow throughout the season, the likes of Casapia, Neom, Porto Salvo, Iron Hawks, you know, the Axe Clan Gymnasium, maybe not so much for those boys because they're not having a great season. They're second bottom, but you know, when we watched that preseason, that was the litmus test of these boys can play. They can all play football. Same goes for Axplan. Same goes for Genesium. They're very good sides. They wouldn't be in this division if they weren't good sides. And again, we say it week in, week out. Unfortunately, somebody's got to be there. You know, thinking about pre-season predictions, how on earth do you predict a league table like this when there's so many world-class sides? So the good thing for Porto Salvo is they've got to that stage where it's 10 games plus in. They know how good they can be, because you never look at a league table until there's 10 games played.
Yeah.
They know that they have the potential to be a mid-table side. Now, if they want to press on, if they want to crack on and go higher than that, I genuinely believe they've got the ability to do that. However, like you said, Domino, they have to. Someone has to drop down for them to go up. They have to take the place of someone. And when you start to look at the teams in this league, you then start to say, who on earth are they going to replace? And that's the beauty of this VPG Esports Prem, is if you say, right, well, you know, All-Star, One Mind are a brilliant side. They should be in the top 4. Okay, well, who do you kick out of that current top 4? You can't tell me because it's impossible. Okay, well, they'll be top 6. Okay, well, you know, who do you kick out the top? And that's what I love about this. So when teams like Porto Salvo, Casapia come in having played such good football in that preseason tournament, I find it fascinating to find out where they're going to end up. And I think, very long story, all wrapped up into one. If Porto Salvo want to stay in that mid-table, if they want to start to challenge that top 8, which I do think they've got the ability to do, these are the sides they need to beat, Domino.
Yeah, and then going back from Porto Salvo, because I think you're spot on with everything you're saying there, 8-Ball, but from the One Mind All-Stars point of view, sitting at 14th 8-Ball, and every single year, I think they are at least a top 6 side, probably a top 4 side, and they've always got that ability to challenge the title because they do have world-class players in there. The last couple of seasons might have been a little bit off the ball, but 14th for a team like All-Star 8-Ball, what's your thoughts?
Well, they again, on the flip side, you know, whilst Porto Salvo is saying if we want to go, you know, if we want to maintain this mid-table after getting promoted, then yeah, we need to be getting results against the teams around them, which unfortunately for All-Star, they fall into that category. And like you said, they shouldn't be in that category. They should be a lot higher. It starts with a brand new week, effectively, and again, we can have a little look on it on the late night show afterwards, and how they've been doing recently and the run of form that they're in. But at the beginning of the season, like you said, they would be saying a minimum, absolute minimum of top 6. That's where One Mind All-Star should be, that top 6. And you know, I'm sure if we'd spoke to them at the beginning of the season, they would have agreed. Whether or not they can get up there now, games like this will be your tester. If they can not only get the result but play well as well, I think that will be a big boost for them. The good thing that they've got is these seasons are long. They are long old seasons here in VPG. So if you haven't had a first 10 games that have been no good, which 14th position for One Mind, perhaps not, you've got another 30-35 games to sort it all out. And I think that's the cry that needs to come from the gaffer at the moment. And again, they've got players who have been there, done it all before. You know, they've got league winners, they've got Champions League winners. They've got the experience to do it. It's just, unfortunately for them, when a promoted side is as good as Porto Salvo, this is what I mean. You know, a bit like the Premier League in real life. If you're playing a team that comes up, you expect to beat them. Porto Salvo are basically the Sunderland of the esports prem. You know, they're coming up, they're playing good football. Everyone knew they played good football, but when they come up against giants like your Arsenals, like your Man Cities, like sometimes Liverpool, you expect it to go one way and it's just not. So again, Porto Salvo are definitely a side who fall into that category, and one mind. I think this is why this game got picked on, though, because it's so interesting for lots of different reasons. It's a very good matchup, and just strip all of that away, just two very, very good competitive 11 sides. So
yeah, sides to watch, and unbelievable class. And like you said, 8-ball at the beginning of this match, anytime DeFreeze on the screen, I'm gonna have a good time.
We could have just stopped all that waffle and just said DeFreeze is playing.
Yeah, DeFreeze is playing, let's watch.
Yeah, happy days. Right then, game number 4 of 4, and it's going to be an absolute belter for you. It is Porto Salvo against All-Star. All-Star in the all-white from right to left. The Italians giving the ball away early on, and it looks like we're not going to get straight into the action. The Italians, Domino, not had the best of luck with the old EA servers, have they? It's
I don't know why EA have got something against them. Like, I don't understand. Is it because we've told, and I still in my head, Abel, and I don't know why, but are the LAN in my head's in Italy? Like, we're going to have a LAN in Italy? Like, that's eventually going to happen. And did they hear that on stream and then they punish them for it? Do you reckon?
Quite possibly, mate. Quite possibly.
The only thing I could think of.
Yeah, it's not a bad shout, to be fair. I mean, it does give us time just to kind of go through these teams for one last time. Porto Salvo, plays to look out for. I mean, the whole 11. Danny Verdi's been a sensational form. They've gone back to that 3 at the back with Vip and Angelo playing as those wide centre backs. 2 very, very good wide centre backs and even full backs as well. I think we got Vip's full-back build on Pro Clubs Weekly at some stage. So, but players to look out for: Deuce Liao, unreal player. Furian is actually the top goal scorer in the VPG Esports Premier, the winger turned striker. And they've got Fabian Queiroz in behind as well. So lots of attacking talent whilst being solid at the back, and I think that's kind of Porto Salvo's that's what they're known for. They're just a very good side, Domino, and they've got a very good mentality in that they don't care who they're playing against. They're not going to change it. They're going to keep the ball on the deck. They're going to attack teams, and they're going to, stay solid at the back. I think for All-Star, it's a little bit different. They've got Usama up front, who, again, quality signing, but with them being 14th, you would expect him and Geordie up front, by the way. Every time I've seen him play this season, I think he's been man of the match every time. So when you got the likes of Usama, Geordie as your strike force with DeFreeze in behind, again, that's a bit like Fama. That's got to be the game plan, whether they like it or not. They might be able to get into, we get it on the deck and then we shift it from left to right. The cut and thrust of it is, can you get it to DeFreeze? Yes or no? If the answer is no, can you get it to any of those front 2? Again, you don't need to waffle through it. That's the cut and dry of it. So it's 2 sides who, again, they're making us wait for it, which is fine because at least I know this one will be worth it. But I think in the grand scheme of things, and not to put us out of a job, Domino, the football's just going to do the talking here. I think this has got potential to be a game of the night, bearing in mind what we've seen tonight already.
Well, you look at the teams across here. You don't look at it as a dead rubber, because obviously every game is 3 points on the line. You want to climb. This is a 6 point of how close they are in the league with each other. So you've not got, I wouldn't say that horrible pressure like you had in the Mad Army Fama game, where people are so concerned about making a mistake where you come a bit passive. Not saying that's what happened, but again, the game didn't fall into a rhythm. Where you've got All-Stars versus Porto, both teams are going to think on paper. Porto's like, we're ahead of them in the table. All-Stars have been great. We can turn them over. All-Stars, you can think, in the reputation that we've got, they've just come into the league. This is an easy 3 points for us. So both teams, I can imagine, would think they can comfortably beat the other, which always will turn into an entertaining game, in my opinion. There's only time to tell.
Exactly. Right then, second time of trying, fingers crossed, it is Porto Salvo in the all black, and it is All-Stars in the white from right to left with DeFreeze, and off we go. Looks like everyone's in, looks like everyone's mobile, everyone's running around normally, so off we go. We're certainly happy. game 4 of 4 for the night. The late night show follows this straight after. Sephiroth with the clearance over on Pro Club's weekly YouTube. Make sure you are subscribed to that. Make sure you're following that. We'll be on. Give us 5 minutes, I reckon. Go for a quick loo break and we'll be on. But for now, VPG action. VPG Esports Premier action. The best of the best. Ball comes in, headed down by Angelo. It is found the back of the net. And like we were saying, the best of the best, Domino, the best centre-backs, the best centre-forwards, and the best early goals. 1-0 to Porto Salvo.
8-ball. The leap on him there, 8-ball. It looked like even virtually he wanted it more than the other player. The climb that he got, the header there, to beat the keeper who's in fantastic position, unbelievable. And yeah, this Porto Salvo team, 8-ball, are going to be rubbing their hands together because what a start it is. 7 minutes in, already on the scoreboard with One Mind / All-Stars got it all to do.
And Domino, historically, what we know about this One Mind side, and I don't think they'll mind me saying it, and if they do mind me saying it, play a little bit different. They are very good at defending leads, and if you can get an early goal against anyone in this league, it might as well be these boys because it forces them to have to come out because these boys, they could take on Fama and Mad Army, 22 players at once, and they would still
Grind
defend.
out.
Exactly that. So again, a very, very good time to score early doors, and again, from a neutral point of view, fantastic for us because it's going to open this game up. Due to
Asper. Good value for 8-ball. Really knocking the ball around nicely and stuff. Cutting the ball in these kind of positions have been fantastic. And even it's been 30 minutes played, but you can clearly tell there's confidence on the pitch for the newly promoted side. Yeah, and what this side do as well, and you might have noticed it there, they stretch the pitch out with those wide players, and Furian's just getting back now. But when they're on the ball, they stretch. Look, again, they just stretch. And it's how they open sides up. They are free-flowing, very attacking side. And look at the left winger there. He's got chalk on his boots. Furian heads straight out to this touchline. Sometimes I see teams try and play so narrow, and you can just see it. It's just not going to work. Just gives them the option, especially when you're playing a back three or playing against a back three. It just gives that wide centre back something to think about. Look here, he has to think about it, and Phoenix and Mo Rafa have got that space in the middle, and it opens up, and it's I'm surprised more teams don't do it, put it that way. And I think you're absolutely correct, April, because if you spread the play out, the centre halves are not going to cover the wide positions, the CDMs will finish that position, and it opens the middle of the park up.
Exactly that, and I tell you, Lulu with a good stop. I do think he was
position over submission.
I do think he was in the team of the week for week number 3. Lulu in goal for One Mind. Great position in there. EA did not do anything to help him out whatsoever. So that was all him, all positioning, all experience. But it's all Porto Salvo at the moment, Domino.
It is April.
Deuce Liao to Phoenix. Looks to get the shot off. Asper in there, but Fabian Quiroz wins it back. Mo Rafa over the top. It goes to the leading goal scorer in the league, and you can see exactly why. Potent as ever. 2-0 to Porto Salvo.
This Porto Salvo team for the first 26 minutes have been relentless. Not only with the ball, but without the ball. But it can all change, 8-ball. And again,
here is Ju.
Can't give the ball away there. 8-ball. I forgot what the animation was. It's like he tackled himself. I don't understand what happened.
When it's not your night. When it's not your night, even DeFreeze's losing the ball. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Porto Salvo smelling blood here, and I think the best that One Mind can do at the moment, or All-Stars, sorry, is just stay in this game. Yes, it would be nice to get a goal before half-time, but I tell you what, if you concede another one here, Porto Salvo, I know team talks have been the talk of the night, Domino, but I'm not sure how much a team talk could save a 3-0 at halftime against a rampant Porto Salvo side. Wow. They're on the attack. Julo in there, gives it to DeFreezy. Good ball to Usama, who, to be fair, has touched the ball maybe once or twice. Jordi, they need to get those two on the ball, and that's exactly what they're doing here, Angelo and co. But they win it back. Jordi, fire! What a save from Ment. Tips it round the post. It is Danny Verdi in that Porto Salvo goal. Tipped it round the...
He's been a spectator for 34 virtual minutes. Only thing to do. And Unbelievable. That's where you pay the top dollars for those keepers, 8-ball. Sitting there twiddling his thumbs, and when you're needing the big moments, you come up clutch.
World Cup winning goalkeeper Danny Verdi, and we said he's in scintillating form going into this game. So is this man, though, Jordi, the man who had that shot earlier on. Cuts inside, looking for his strike partner, Sosa there at the exact right time. We have got a game on our hands here, ladies and gentlemen. Jordi into De Vries, he needs to behave. Fabian Queiroz to Phoenix.
One thing his team's 2-0 down.
Well, I mean, it's effective. It's not that time, but a sign of hope for All Stars, Domino.
Absolutely.
Phoenix drops the shoulder. They've got willing runners. What? Oh, you've done fantastic there. Angelo keeps it alive for Porto Salvo. They're pinging it around, literally like watching a pinball machine. Rafa into Phoenix. They're going to win it back, though. The third goal kills it, Domino. I'm willing to put my commentary career on the line here.
Is it out? I did think that ball went out, but fair enough.
Corner to the side, leading 2-0. Newly promoted Porto Salvo, putting one mind to the sword as things stand. Sona heads home to Team of the Week, Lulu. Just thinking back to that save. If one mind go into this half time 2-1, they'll bite your hand off for it. And it shows you how. Oh, Phoenix slides it through. Manual through ball goes near side, Lulu. Equal to it. Guess the right way. Good positioning.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Absolutely unreal. I mean, there's quality, and then there's that 8-ball.
What the through ball from Phoenix, though. Jeez. Manual through ball. It's the stuff I could only dream of.
I mean, you put all the weight on it yourself. Yeah, that's a different grade. That's a different type of mechanics. Fair play to him. I mean, the corner weren't great, but never mind.
I mean, I don't want this half to end simply because I don't want any of the sting to go out of it. I don't want any of the fireworks to go out of it. But we warned you before that everything was just set nicely for a very good game of clubs, and we just so happened to stumble upon two teams in red hot form, and just two teams who have so much to prove. And it's exactly what we got. I mean, I think the last 10-15 minutes really saved All-Star. Otherwise, we'd be sat here saying Porto Salvo, they're in danger of running away with it. I think that just gives Porto Salvo a little bit of something to think about, Domino.
Yeah, one more goal for Porto Salvo, and I'll be writing All-Stars obituary there, 8-ball. But there's enough play and there's enough danger for me to think once All-Star gets back in that game, again, it reminds me of the tournament 8-ball where they were like 6th out of 7 and they got through for some reason because the tournament was weird. And then they went on to win it because they grow into things, they grow into games. I think De Vries, I mean, you've seen those possession stats. I think it was 60 plus possession for this kind of Porto Salvo. Let All-Stars get onto the ball, get some more touches, and get a little bit warmer, and I do think you'll see a difference here. But this Porto Salvo team's playing out their skin.
Yeah, I can't see Porto Salvo not getting another the way they're playing at the moment. I think one might need to take that into consideration as well when they decide how much they want to commit to the cause of trying to score these two goals, because they might very well need more than two. But at the moment, De Vries is cooking, and again, like you said, Domino, let them... Strange. Looked like it deflected wide, but yeah, if you let them on the ball, give them too much respect, take your foot off the gas, then you will get punished. And like you said, this is a side, Domino, who are used to working in adverse conditions, and a side that you should write off at your own risk.
I like that. They are used to work in adverse conditions.
They truly are. I mean, they finished 4th in a group of 5 and then went on and won a tournament. I'm starting to think of it whether it was just a mirage, because it was when we finished about 1:45 that stream, so I'm not sure if it even did really happen. I've not seen anyone talk about it ever since.
You know stats about it as well, mate.
De Vries. The worrying thing for these boys is De Vries is cooking now, finds Jordi, and Danny Verdi not only saves it, but holds the ball as well. Worrying times for Porto Salvo when that man is cooking as much as he is. And again, Jordi, who I told you at the start of this game, a very tidy player in very good form. You would expect that man to hit the back of the net from there.
Yeah, you would, 8-ball, and I mean, they're just matched. I mean, all over the pitch here. I can't fault a Porto Salvo body out there, 8 Ball. Everyone in every position have been incredible to keep this side at bay. The keeper pull out world-class saves. The football inside here has sometimes been scintillating, 8 Ball. It's one of those performances. Jesus, 8 Ball. It's just one of those.
They can't. The thing is, though, they can't just say we played very well for 60 minutes. They either need to put this game to bed, which they very may do here. They either need to put this game to bed, or they need to say let's lock in defensively, and they're just gonna choose the latter and try and put this game to bed early. And that's a good save from Lulu in that one-man goal. Again, probably being the busiest one-man player. Doesn't decide to come for it, and Angelo's just going to pick up his second of the night. And that's it, Domino. That's it. There's no coming back from 3-0, 60 minutes. I'm going to tell you that now for free. There's absolutely no chance this one-man side get into it. And Porto Salvo, as good as one-man have been in this last 10, 13, 15 minutes, if you're scoring 2 goals from corners every game, then you're going to do very, very well in this league. They've got the goals. They've got the performance. They've got the 3 points as far as I'm considered.
Yeah, they've just been too good, 8 Ball. They've had too much freezy there. But not only when you're met with a world-class keeper, because let's be honest, 8 Ball, they could have had 2 goals there. There were 2 chances that I said fell into the favour of All-Star scoring them, but great keeping. And when they've got on the ball, Porto Salvo, they've just been so economical in possession. And it's that timing, I say it time and time again, where you switch the timing up from just having the ball, knocking it around, to all of a sudden pulling the trigger on things, and they've been brilliant, and they've been everywhere.
Yeah, they truly have, front to back. Like you said, not a player playing, under a 8 out of 10, and that's what you get. And I mean, it was a frantic start. Porto Salvo just, again, they've got nothing to lose, and they went into this game. If they get turned around 3-0 by a world-class one-man side, then so be it. They're newly promoted. No one's expecting anything. Fortune completely and utterly favoured the Brave here, and I just think that I don't think one-man expected it. Truth be told, I think they got caught. I think they got caught cold. They're used to staying in games, letting DeFreezy cook. The 2 strikers are very good strikers. Normally put those chances away. That they've just come up against a very inspired Danny Verdi, and despite DeFreezy's best efforts here, it's just not been one-man's night at all.
No, it looks like they're a little bit off the boil here, 8 Ball. It just looks like the chemistry's not quite right. They're not getting the second touches, and yeah, sometimes when it's not your night, and you got that feeling here.
I think a lot of people are going to look at this game as well, look at the scoreline. I mean, if they want to watch the game back as well, they'll see it for themselves. Porto Salvo, don't be fooled by that 11th place, because in this league, if you're 11th place, you're a world-class side. And not only are they picking up points against the likes of All-Star, they've got the performance to go with it, and they've got, 3-0's a romping, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. So not only are they picking up the 3 points, they've also got, those 2 bonuses as well. And tell you what, it might even be more with Deuce Liao.
Oh my!
Smashes it home. They've turned a romping into an even bigger romping. Deuce Liao is very rarely not on the score sheet when his team gets going. Enter the fray, Deuce Liao, 4-0.
Is it a 4-0 game, 8 Ball?
I mean, it's not a 4-0 game. Because other than DeFreezy, I'm looking around at the one-man boys and thinking, whilst we're saying, yeah.
Oh, look, DeFreezy's doing everything himself.
Exactly. And we're looking around saying there's no Porto Salvo playing less than an 8. Other than DeFreezy, are there any one-man players playing an 8 or 7 or 6?
Yeah. There's just no, like I said, ball by the horns. They look starved of creativity. They've given the ball away on numerous occasions in very, very easy spots where there's a safer pass on. And I always have that pet peeve where if you're going to give the ball away, do it a little bit risky. Don't do it.
Oh my days, Geordie. Then he puts the ball away. It's like Jojo said, too little, too late. But DeFreezy again. I mean, he's taken himself from an 8 to a 9, and Geordie gets his goal, but. I would hope that the team aren't happy with that. That DeFreezy's got his assist, Geordie's got his goal, but I really do hope for this team's sake they don't go into that game. They don't go into the changing room happy with their contribution, because across the board, the one mind performance. I tell you what, Geordie cuts it across to Ju. The finish not on Danny. You said as well, Domino. You know, I don't want to come across as I'm bashing one mind here. It's just we've got such massive expectations for them, and they've come across a beast, and I think that's the bottom line. That's the highlight. They've come across a beast. Very good form. Porto Salvo. They could play a lot of teams ahead of them in the league tonight, and with this performance, they would pick up a win. And sometimes when you're on the receiving end of that, you do need to turn around and say, yeah, fair enough. But there have been times in the game where key players could have contributed more.
Yeah.
Save for that man there, by the way, who DeFreezy, his side got beat 4-1 and he still played a 9 out of 10. You don't see that. You don't see that very often. But what I don't want to do is take gloss of that performance from Porto Salvo, because that's a top performance from a very, very top team, and we knew this was a good side. But what they just showed us there, I think that will reverberate around the league, Domino. 4-1 against a very, very... Don't get me wrong, they're down in 14th place. They're still the same side they've always been. So a 4-1 win against those. Just some teams, you know, in that 8th, 9th position, having a little look behind them going, right, okay, yeah, well... Exactly that.
I would, they're able. I mean, I can't say I've been on many streams, and we, to be fair, have covered All-Star/One Mind extensively. When's the last time you see anyone put 4 past them? Even the greatest G-Mask, Fama teams. When's the last time you see anyone put 4 past All-Stars?
That's a very good point. And again, you know, we said it when the goal went in after 4 minutes. All you need to do is score early against this one mind side. I don't know why other teams don't do it, Domino. It's as simple as that. Just do that.
There you go, the proof's there. Yeah, there you go.
Right. Guys, if you've made it this far, thank you so much. Make sure you are subscribed to VPG YouTube channel. Like as well. Sometimes I look at it and I'm just like, yeah, this got 15 likes. That's really good. So like it, and it cheers me up. We're back.
That's the only reason to like it.
Yeah, that's
literally the only reason.
Yeah. Tuesdays, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Do not miss it. 3 times a week. What more can you ask for? And I tell you what more they can ask for, Domino, is the VPG Late Night Show. It's on PCW YouTube, not this YouTube, PCW YouTube. So make sure you go over to that. We're literally going to be 5 minutes. Quick turnaround, quick pit stop, and we'll be back discussing tonight's action. So make sure you join us over there to discuss your nights, tonight, and our nights, I guess. Domino, you want to discuss what we've been up to?
Yeah, just discuss everything. Like, just come down, have a coffee with us, have a beer with us. Yeah, and we'll talk you through some magic.
Brilliant stuff. Right, we'll see you in 5-10 minutes tops, and have a good rest of your night, guys.
Cool. See ya.
Bye.